The last stand at Moonlit Creek. The moon hung like a silver coin in the inky sky, casting long, dancing shadows across the clearing. Moonlit Creek, usually a picture of serenity, held its breath, anticipating the violence that was to come. Elias, the hawk, Harper, his silhouette stark against the dying embers of his campfire, scanned the treeline with eyes that missed nothing. He knew Cyrus, the wolf, Stone and his gang of cutthroats would come. Their greed for land was as boundless as the prairie sky. The hawk adjusted the grip on his rifle, Old Betsy, a faithful companion for over 20 years. He thought of Martha, his wife, her face etched with worry as she barricaded their cabin with their son, Caleb. He thought of his neighbors, the Miller family with their young daughters, Old Man Finnegan with his stubborn pride, and Sarah, the widow who ran the trading post with a quiet strength. They were all counting on him. A twig snapped, shattering the stillness. The hawk's heart pounded like a war drum. Shadows shifted in the darkness, resolving into the grim figures of Stone's men. Harper. Stone's voice, rough as gravel, cut through the night. We've come for your land. Leave now, and you might live to see the sunrise. The hawk spat a stream of tobacco juice onto the parched earth. This land was my father's, and his father's before him. You'll take it over my dead body, Stone. A cruel smile twisted Stone's lips. So be it. The first shot ripped through the silence, followed by another, and another. The night erupted in a cacophony of gunfire and screams. The hawk, moving with the grace of a predator, took cover behind a towering oak, his rifle spitting fire. He saw Finnegan fall, clutching his chest, a look of surprise frozen on his face. He heard the terrified cries of the Miller girls as their parents desperately tried to shield them. Rage burned in his gut, fueling his every move. He picked off 2 of Stone's men, their screams echoing through the trees. But they were too many. One by one, his neighbors fell, their hopes and dreams extinguished in the cold light of dawn. Wounded in the leg, the hawk dragged himself towards his cabin. He had to reach Martha and Caleb. He saw Stone emerge from the smoke, his eyes gleaming with triumph, heading towards the cabin. A surge of adrenaline gave the hawk the strength he needed. He raised Old Betsy, his vision blurring with blood loss. He squeezed the trigger. Stone staggered, clutching his shoulder, a howl of pain escaping his lips. But he kept coming. The hawk fired again. This time, the bullet found its mark, striking Stone squarely in the chest. The wolf's eyes widened in disbelief before he crumpled to the ground, his reign of terror finally over. The remaining gang members, their leader dead, scattered like frightened wolves. The hawk, his strength finally failing him, collapsed on the porch of his cabin. Martha rushed out, her face a mixture of relief and horror. The battle was won, but the cost was heavy. As the sun painted the sky with hues of orange and pink, casting a mournful glow over Moonlit Creek, the hawk knew that the fight for their freedom had just begun. The land was theirs, but the scars of this night would forever remain, a reminder of the price they paid for their piece of the American dream.